What's up, YouTubers? It's me, Johnny. It's another beautiful day in North Phoenix. I'm getting ready to head out to Mexico. I think I'm going to head to the coast. I'm not really sure. And I plan on, of course, hitting Guatemala. Lately, I've been looking at prices, airplane tickets for Mexico City to Brazil or Mexico City to Colombia, and they're all over the place. I think it's just that time of year, and plus with coronavirus and travel kind of starting back up again, prices are just going through the roof. And another problem is, I don't know if you frequent flyers know this, you probably know this, but there's new terms and conditions when you fly. Apparently on some tickets, if you get the cheapest price and they cancel your flight, they don't refund your money back. Now, that's what I read. I don't know if that's true or not, and I don't know how that would be affected if you use a credit card. Usually I use a credit card, and then after my flight, I pay the credit card. So if I have a dispute, I can dispute it. Now, with all these new changes, I don't know what's happening. Just as an example, today, Southwest canceled a lot of flights. Yesterday, Sunday, they canceled a lot of flights. This is not unusual. I think United Airline, Southwest, a lot of Delta. There's a lot of chicanery going on right now, or at least that's my interpretation. Anyways, prices for like Brazil from Mexico went from like 400 to 500 to like 700, 800. I think it's just the time of year now. So I'm thinking about flying to South America maybe after Christmas or sometime after then. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the money situation is going to work out. I have quite a few things going on right now, so I'm not sure how that's all going to work out. But I've been watching a lot more videos on various countries forcing the vaccination. I'm not sure how that's going to work out in the States. I think, or if I had to guess, the United States may be the last country to do that. But it looks like Canada, Australia, and some other countries. If you don't get the vaccine, you're going to be SOL. You're going to be shut out of banking. Well, you'll be shut out of a lot of services and eventually probably banking services. Now, that's kind of an extreme view. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it appears to me some people are making their plans to leave whatever jurisdiction they're in and going to Latin America. I was just watching last week Matt Smith. He does a channel with Doug Casey, and he was interviewing Doug Casey and asking, usually on Thursdays and Fridays, they ask a lot of questions that the viewers have. And incidentally, Matt Smith kind of surprised me. He flew out I presume he flew out of Colorado and went to Uruguay. So I don't know if he's there for good or what. I don't know. But he was asking about where Europeans are planning to go if they decide to bug out of Europe. And Doug Casey didn't have any hesitation. He said South America. Brazil, Uruguay, Chile, Colombia. There's a lot of different options down there. Anyways, I've been thinking about that lately. For North Americans, usually we go to Mexico, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, even Honduras. But anyways, El Salvador. I want to go to a lot of those places, but the entry requirements, they're constantly changing. And the research I've been doing, I got to pay $100 for PCR tests for the countries that require that as opposed to antigen. Some of the countries require only antigen, and if you get an antigen test in Mexico, it's $15 to $20. The last I heard from a friend of mine, he was in the airport, and it was like $15 or $20 for the antigen. PCR is about $100. For countries that they don't care if you get the antigen, I just assume get that. But I was just thinking about, like, if you get that test and you get a false positive, then you can't get on the airplane. So if you spend $500 or $1,000, you're just SOL. Anyhow, that's despite having the vaccine. With or without the vaccine, you got to get these tests. So my dilemma is there's two things really. I'm planning to kind of get out of Dodge for good, and wrapping up things in North America, and probably my playgrounds or my places I want to live, work, and play will be in Mexico, Central and South America. and I'm trying to get some online income going and some other things going that are related to the income category. So that's my kind of get out of Dodge thing. Now everyone's kind of different. I'm at the point where I don't really enjoy living in North America anymore. As the viewers probably know, wages are going up, so I could see why some people want to stay here. Wages are kind of going up, but the cost of living is going up. And my beef has always been, like, you can make a lot of money in the States, but you can't always spend it on what you enjoy doing. It's either regulated or taxed or not tolerated. Just an example, Doug Casey and Matt were talking about how nowadays if you get a ticket over 20, 30 miles an hour, you can lose your license, and you can lose it for good in some states. Not all states, but in some states. Used to be a long, long, long time ago. If you lost your license in one state, you could go to another state and get it. That's kind of over now. And then with social credit, with facial recognition, some of the viewers might know, Mr. Gammon. I can't remember think of his name, but facial recognition is now really popping up all over in the States. And the social credit is starting up on social media, and it's also starting up with the government. We have it kind of light compared to China and other countries, but in a lot of your Western countries, you can have social credit scores, and it will be similar to China in that you will get locked out of banking services, or let's just say financial services, utilities to travel, utilities to hook up to your house, just anything like that. So my opinion is this is all going to fall apart eventually, but until it does, I want to ride out the storm somewhere else. So I don't know what the viewers think. Leave a comment if you have a different view. I just was watching one of my YouTube channel. I like Naval Bud's channel. He's had a lot of videos come out recently, but he had a few videos, or one video at least, that I saw on his place there in Mexico. I don't want to say where, but he has a nice setup where he raises his own food a little bit, or somewhat, or a lot, compared to Americans. I mean, he has chickens, turkeys, maybe even ducks, rabbits, maybe. Lists a lot of stuff, grows a lot of stuff. An acquaintance of mine, I'm not sure if he wants me to mention his name, but he has a similar setup in Central America. And these are people I know, and kind of in small towns to big cities. It's kind of interesting. More and more people are getting off the grid, at least partially or fully off the grid. I've been thinking the same thing myself. I don't want to be on social media anymore, with the one exception of YouTube. And YouTube it's hard to make money. It costs a lot of time putting out videos, and I don't edit my videos, so that's why I still do it, because it just costs me the time to put out a video, and I just do headshot videos. So anyhow, I've been thinking about the last couple weeks. Even if you can earn a living in the States, it's such a pain in the neck to do anything now, to have an enjoyable life. And then not to mention the fact, if you have a lot of your assets in one country, like in a first world country, for example, a lot of those assets can be seized or frozen, or you can't access them if you get doxxed, or you can access them, but you got to move them somewhere else because your banking outlets don't want you to bank there anymore. And it's to the point now where it's going to be difficult for people to even rent an apartment or go to the grocery store or having banking if they, for whatever reasons, don't want to toe the line for whatever's coming down the road. By that, right now, I don't know if to say if it's du jour, but the reason now is vaccines, but in the future it could be anything. I haven't been watching really closely in Australia, but I've been paying attention to it, and there's a lot of stuff going on in Australia where I don't know if I don't think the U.S. would ever go that far, but it's the direction they're going that it's kind of alarming. I don't even see really a lot of Republicans pushing back that much. I'm not a big gun guy, but there's a lot of stuff on guns that Republicans aren't really pushing back on. There's a lot of small business issues people are having that Republicans aren't really pushing back on, or Democrats either. I'm not trying to blame one party or the other, but both parties aren't really pushing back on a lot of things that are going to affect a lot of upper middle class people, and it's already affecting lower middle class people to the point where it used to be I would meet a lot of people in Central America and Mexico, more fluent people leaving. Now you come across people from all walks of life. And sometimes I get emails asking me, like, where should you go? How can you earn money? What's your opinion on this and that? Like dating. What's your opinion on, lots of things like that. And my answer is always, if you have the luxury of time and money, travel around all over Latin America or Asia, see where you fit in. I prefer Latin America. I still like the Philippines, but for different reasons, I'm not sure how Asia is gonna fall out, or how it's gonna shake out with China and the U.S. maybe at loggerheads on things. But that's another thing. I think China's kind of messing with the U.S. right now, poking it, see what they can get away with and what they can't. And if that ever comes up to a head, I'd prefer to be in Central or South America. That's just my opinion. But anyways, I guess I feel kind of not a depression, personal depression, but I feel in the U.S. there's this depression going around where people are very don't know what to do. They don't like where things are going, but they don't want to make any decisions to shit or get off the pot, as my dad used to say. I'm deciding more and more. I'm just gonna plan on whatever I gotta do, so I can be in Latin America or wherever I want full time, and that's just how it's gonna be. I don't care for the States anymore. I don't know how the viewers feel, but leave a comment if you're getting up to your neck with all the nonsense going on here. And it doesn't appear that things are going to get much better. And I'm not even sure the economy is that great. I think it's kind of winding down. And the more research I do on certain things, emerging market economies, whether you got to work a job or whether you want to start a business, may be the better long-term option if you're in a first world country, especially if you're a small businessman or entrepreneur, or especially if you want to work at a career or something. And the younger you are, the better I think it's going to work out for you. The older you are, maybe you retired, if you have pension assets, spend them in somewhere else, because the cost of living is getting outrageous here. I want to comment on some McDonald's things, but I know some of the viewers think McDonald's is shitty food, and maybe that's true, but I had a breakfast meal for $7.50, and I remember when you get a hamburger and French fries for $5 or $6 or $7. Things are just really, really, really expensive here, and I don't think that's going to get any cheaper. And right now, I was perusing the exchange rates for Brazil. It's 5.5 for $1. Mexico's at 20.6 pesos to the dollar. I haven't looked to see where Guatemala is, but Peru is, I think it's at 4 to 1. I might be wrong though. I better check that. But a lot of the currencies in Latin America, because inflation's heating up, are starting to depreciate against the dollar. So depending on how fast inflation goes up and depending on how strong the dollar is against those currencies, you have a certain, arbitrage there you can use to your advantage. When I go to Mexico, I'm going to check out some $200 to $300 apartments and see what's up there. Now, having said that, I don't want to say too much more. You can get places cheaper than that, but I just want to see what's on offer in this one location and a few other things if I can. Anyways, that's it for now. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and what's your opinion on all this stuff going on in the States? Are people up to the point where they want to leave, or you still want to stay here? Is it fun for you? I don't find you have much fun anymore. Things are so, things are just not the way they used to be. It's not even fun coming to the U.S. much anymore. Anyways, I'm going to shut this down, upload it, see what the comments are. Have a good day wherever you guys are.